Good morning, afternoon, whatever. Today I'm making smothered steak because that's one of my favorite things that Mama cooked. I like it really tender. Now, she says to take round steak and the tenderized round steak, or tenderize it yourself, and she gives you good instructions of how to beat it with a meat cleaver to get it tenderized if it isn't already. I buy, usually now they have these beef cutlets that are very, they're tenderized as well, so that's what I usually get now over the round steak because I'm lazy and it's all cut up for me already and I don't have to bother with that. I have my pot to cook it in. Thanks, Mark. This was Mark's wife, so he gave that to me and I have used it a lot. I've already got in here some shortening, probably about 4 tablespoons, 4 or 5 tablespoons, 3 heaping tablespoons anyway, so it equals about 4 or 5 tablespoons. And I've got that in there. I've got some flour in a bowl here, and I've got my salt and pepper out, ready to go. So, Mama says first to make sure it's tenderized. Well, it is, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. Here's my least favorite part, because I don't like touching raw meat ever, but it's kind of a necessity when you're gonna cook it, So, ick. All right, so the first thing she says is salt and pepper. So I'm gonna put the pepper on. Put it all over the cabinet too. And then salt it. And then I'm going to turn it over and do the same. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one in here and salt and pepper. And pepper doesn't come out as good as the salt does. Okay, so I'm gonna get it, and I've already got that hot. Now I've got it on high right now. Once I get these in and started, I will turn it down to medium, because I want it to tenderize them a little bit. So I'm gonna wait just a minute and put 2 in at once is what I'm gonna do. Okay, and that way, just because that's the way I like to do it, no other reason than that. I could go ahead and put these in right now, but you just make sure you get it coated really well with the flour. Always put some extra on top and make sure I get it on there. I don't like to have little bald spots on it. I don't know that it really would make that big a difference, but it does to me. So, I'm gonna go ahead and put these 2 in. You can hear the sizzle, so didn't want to let go of the fork. Guess I'll just have to do this with my hand. Ick. Alright, I'm going to get this one. I like these cutlets because they're very easy to, I don't have to cut them up or anything like that. I usually wind up, when I put them in the gravy, you'll see I'll probably cut them in half once I make the gravy, just because I like to. I don't know. Weirdness of me. Okay. So, I'm going to make enough room for that last one here, for sure. I believe I got it. Salt, pepper. I think I know why the pepper's not coming out as much. It's almost out. Okay. Make sure I get it covered. Now, once I get all the flour on, I will put it in here. And before I do, I need to get these moved around a little closer. I've got it browning on one side. I'm going to turn it over now and let it brown just a minute on the other side. And next, after it browns just a minute on this side, I'm going to turn the heat down and I'm going to put the lid on and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. Okay? And I'll be back with you then. I'm going to turn it over one more time to make sure that it did get this. Daddy loved this. This was one of his favorite things that when I lived with him and he would want me to make something from Mama's cookbook. This was his first choice every time I would ask him. Well, he liked noodle nourish a lot too, but he did like this. He said it was just good. So, medium, put the lid on, 15 minutes. Okay, so I think I'm ready now to take these out and make some gravy. So what I'm going to do is get them out of there because they are, ouch, hot. I love this pan. Okay, so they are definitely done. And next, what I need to do is take some flour, just regular all-purpose flour, and sprinkle it in the grease. You know, and make sure I got enough to kind of soak up. I want it to soak up the grease. This is what she says do. And salt and pepper. And a little pepper, which is this one. My other pepper ran out, so I have to use my fancy. Okay, so with this, and now you can, you know, if you don't like these pieces of crust in your gravy, you can kind of strain them out, pull them out. I do not, because you know I'm gonna put the meat back in here anyway, and I think it just adds a little flavor to the gravy. It makes it more flavored and less leather. But as I'm doing it, I kind of scrape the bottom, and you can see it's just kind of. And she says, I'm gonna add some water, and I'm gonna add quite a bit of water because I want to have a lot of gravy. So, and I have quite a bit of flour in here. The flour, I mean, like right now it looks kind of thick and stuff. And you can get the brown color just doing this, you know, just by doing what I'm doing. And next, what I'm gonna do is what I do. And you know, you put water in. Well, I go ahead and boil my water beforehand because I have one of these electric kettles and I love this thing because I make hot tea all the time. And you pour in some and I stir, and you can see it's bubbling and it's thick, so I'm gonna need more. You just want to get it to the right consistency, and you can see it's bubbling because I'm using boiled water. If you're using water that is not real hot, then it takes it a few more minutes to thicken up like that. Okay. Now. Okay. See, it's still just a little thick. I like for it to be, you know, you can get, that's the thing about making gravy by Mama's instructions. You can't ruin it. You can try to, but it just doesn't happen. I don't think in all the years I've been cooking that I've ever ruined the gravy. Because if you get it too thin, you can just add a little more flour and water. If you get it too thick, add a little more water. And so you can always thicken and thin it back. Now, it's a pretty good consistency right now, but I'm gonna add just a touch more simply because I don't want it to burn on the bottom, and I like it a little thinner. A little bit, not much, not much. That's about good right there. I don't know if you can tell. I'll do it with this thing so you can kind of see. It's a little thin, but it will thicken up a little more as I cook because when I put that meat back in, some of that flour, and plus it's going to cook long and steam the meat. So I'm ready to put my meat back in and get it covered good with this gravy. You can see I got a lot of gravy here. Okay. Now, I'm going to turn it down to a simmer, and I'm going to cover it. And in a few minutes, I'll probably come and maybe every now and then I'll come and turn it over. But I'm going to let it simmer. Mama says about 20 minutes on a low flame. And so I'm going to let it simmer a while, and then I'll come back, and I'll probably after about 5 or 10 minutes I'll come and turn the meat over one time and stir it around again, and just do that every once in a while. Okay, so it's all done, and well, I just got gravy on me so you can see up close. I don't want to dump it, but there it is. I cut one of the pieces of meat in half because I don't usually eat a lot of meat, but it looks good to me. Okay, put my napkin in my lap, and I'm ready to start eating. I don't even think, I probably don't even need the knife really. So we'll see if it's as good as Mama's. I think so. It always amazes me how when I cook according to her recipe, it always comes out right. And so I'll try one of my beans. Good. And then rice and gravy. I love rice and gravy. Perfect. And my last bite. Just like Mama always did, say that.